Hello, my friends. How are you today? Aaron here bringing your Sunday Fun Day horoscope for Sunday, the 18th of April, 2021. We've got the moon at home, moving through the middle degrees of the sign of Cancer. Back to our emotional needs, bringing our attention back home. Attention back to ourselves, our attention back to our emotional body. Our attention to our comforts, the things that surround us, taking care of and cleaning up our houses, if you will. Whether that be our inside emotional house, the house that the body that houses our emotions, or this is our physical house. We also have the sun conjunct Mercury today. That's kind of the meat of the day, is the sun conjunct Mercury. And they're both moving through the 28th to 29th degree of Aries. All right, so this conjunction is happening at 29 degrees of Aries. It's not going to happen until later on Sunday night, but we're going to feel this energy as both are moving through the 28th to 29th degree. So I've got the clock set here for 10 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 29 degrees, 14 minutes. So, between 9:30, 10 p.m., we're really going to feel this connection strongly. And moving from that 28th to 29th degree is big. It's a big deal, as we have Venus home in the sign of Taurus. We have the moon home in the sign of Cancer. Okay, so this is a bit of earth and water, both feeling very comfortable in their own surroundings, feeling very loving towards our home environment, loving towards our material possessions, loving for things. This can be a time where we have to also watch our spending, because Venus is getting closer and closer to Uranus, which means, it's just like, oh, we want these nice things, and this is about learning to live within our means. So and that's fine. We might want nice things to decorate our home. This can be some of that energy, bring nice material possessions in that makes us feel good in our home environment, beautifying the home. But they can also be radical impulse buys going on as Venus is getting closer to conjunct Uranus over this next week. But this 28th degree, 29th degree of Aries, this is all about boundaries. This is about learning our lessons, as the sun and Mercury have both moved their way all the way through Aries, understanding the aspects of self, loving ourselves, appreciating ourselves, understanding our own emotional impulses, our own attitudes, our own the way that we respond to things can be sometimes in the quickness. And it's taking that moment for self to recognize, is this important to say right now in this moment just because I'm feeling it? There's that old expression, just because you feel it doesn't mean it's there, which is a very powerful message that although the moon isn't square to the sun today, it's close, but it's not a full square to the sun. So this is like putting our emotions in a little bit of check and understanding our own ego, putting our ego in check, putting our communication in check, and what is necessary to be communicated and what is necessary to be left. It's like in the film industry, we shoot a lot, and there's this expression, I'm sure you've heard, what stays on the cutting room floor, or what's left on the cutting room floor. We overshoot. We overpack sometimes. We overpack and we're going on vacation. We bring too many things, or we have too much food, whatever it is. So it's just like certain things are left behind. Certain things that are shot in the film world are left on the edit room floor because it's not important. It's not imperative to the storyline of the message that we're trying to convey. And that's really the beauty of this conjunction of the 29th degree, the anorotic degree. It's 0 degrees and 29 degrees. It's like the most potent. 0 because it's like the fresh baby entering into this new place. And the 29th degree is just like, okay, have we learned all of these lessons? This is the only time the sun's going to be here in the sign of Aries until next year. So it's like, do we learn the lessons about ourselves? Do we learn our own boundaries? Do we learn where we have to stiff arm, where we have to push? Do we learn where we have to be firm? Did we learn where we have to be flexible? Are we honoring ourselves? Are we honoring our own emotions? And just because somebody else is angry, somebody else has an agenda, doesn't mean we have to match and mirror that. And that's what this last week leading up to this conjunction has all been about. So this conjunction is Mercury. Mercury's our communication, trading of goods and services as well. And the sun is our ego expressing itself. And what do we need right now in the sign of Aries? To be sure of ourselves, to live and walk confidently within our own skin, and knowing our boundaries, especially when it deals with communication with ourselves and our own minds. And are we beating ourselves up? Are we putting ourselves down? Or our communication to the outward, to other people, are we coming off as too brash? Are we coming off as too hasty or too quick? Are we just saying these things just because they come to our mind because we feel them? Or is this something that we can leave on the edit room floor? So we have this little bit of balance. Again, even though the moon's not square, it's got that little square to Chiron. Emotional, putting things in check. That's what this is all about. That's what all this energy is about. Putting things in emotional check. Learning our own boundaries of ourselves. And singing with the spheres, if you will. Meaning, right, so like a body at ease is a body not in dis-ease. A body in ease is singing in harmony. Like your chakras are tuned, your chakras are in balance, which means you have this ability to sing with the cosmos. And when you're at ease in the mind, when you're at ease in your heart, in your soul, in the ego sense of yourself, then you're living harmoniously with your environment around you. And when we step outside of our own boundaries, when we don't respect ourselves enough and we're mirroring another's image, or we're mirroring somebody else's anger, or mirroring somebody else's energy, we're not coming back to fully respecting ourselves. So that's what this day is all about on this Sunday Fun Day. Appreciating ourselves, knowing when to speak up and when to not speak up. And there's no right or wrong. There's no right or wrong. It just, wherever we're all at, individually is moving forward. All right, my friends, have a beautiful Sunday Fun Day. As always, thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate you, and we'll see you tomorrow.